Hey fellas, so, drafted last night. The FLGS did not have adequate quantities of M12, so we drafted Scars block. All well and good, right? Right? Put that aside for a moment. Okay. So, first draft, ended up with a red-black deck, running 2 Gut Shots, Volt Charge, a Red Sun Zenith, and Golgotha Flame Fiend, as well as an Alloy Mirror, 2 Spin Engines, 2 Tumble Magnets, a Sphere of the Suns, a Contagious Nim, a Geth's Verdict, a Flenser Knight, 3 Vault Scourges, a Skin Wing and a Quarter Shield, a Grafted Exoskeleton, a Strand Walker, and a Flare Husk. Oh, and a Pristine Talisman. It didn't do too well. Round 1, I got swept because I just couldn't draw enough land. I went a little bit lower on my mana curve than I usually like to because I've got like 3 different mana accelerators in there. Oops, so I got the Talisman. Yeah, I got the Talisman, the Spear of the Suns, and the mirror that provides mana of a color of my choice. And its name I can't recall off the top of my head. Bucket's coming. There it is. Alloy Mirror. But anyway, yeah, in all honesty, you know, in both games of round 1, I just couldn't draw enough mana to make it work, at least not in time. I don't know what happened. I mean, it's just like either I wouldn't draw enough land, I just didn't draw enough land to play my mana fixers, or if I had enough land for my mana fixers, I wasn't drawing the mana fixers. And I'm like, what the hey? You know? I don't know. But, oh well, I ended up pulling a Leanin' Arbiter and a Victory's Herald out of the prize pool with it. They're not exactly high priority cards, but I went after them, you know? You know, they were late picks out of the prize pool, you know, first, second, third, fourth place, etc. You know, they got picks before me. I was like somewhere in the bottom half of, I think, this week. I've done better. I've done a lot better. Second draft. Wait a second. Hold on. Let's put this down for a second. And yeah, there's my sideboard from first draft. Okay. Might as well cover that before I get to second draft, right? Am I right? Of course I'm right. Parasitic Implant, that was a tough call to cut out of the deck. A Necropouncer, that was a tough call to cut out of the deck. I mean, yeah, it's not really all that great, but the equip cost is really cheap, and it's living equipment. It's another body that leaves me a piece of equipment behind, you know? Silver Mirror I thought about running, but since I wasn't running blue, I decided not. Nihil Spellbomb, I decided against. Rusted Slasher, I picked up as, I want to say, second or third pick in Pack 2, because I figured there's a bunch of cards that are really good when you sacrifice them. Like, you know, if I should happen to, like, someone should be dumb enough to pass me a Spine of Ishsa, or even an Ichor Wellspring, whatever, you know? But it didn't happen. Just didn't happen. Locks on Convert. Divine Offering was a hate draft. A bunch of stuff that was just junk. Sky Eel School I took because I was pretty sure the guy to my left was playing blue, and I passed one, and then I get handed a second one, and I'm like, I can't pass 2 of these. Malira's Keepers, it was running around, I figured, yeah, what the hell, I'll take it, maybe I'll screw somebody up. I don't know. Untamed Might was kind of a hate draft. Blister Grub is a ho-hum card at best. Warden Spellbomb. Isolation Cell I grabbed. I figured, you know, it might be interesting. ended up not having any room in the deck for. So you know, I didn't break my heart to not have it in the deck. You know what I'm saying? The second draft deck I had. Lost 2-1 in round 1 and rounds 2 and 3 at 1. I did okay. It's not bad. It was alright. Sideboard, I had all sorts of crazy stuff in it, like Oculus and Steel Sabotage and Tax and Probe, and Spine Thopter, Slice and Twain. Apparently no one at my table was going green, which I came to the conclusion after, you know, in Pack 2 I picked up a Viridian Corruptor, you know, after having passed it, it came back to me. And it wasn't in the pack I opened. So, yeah, Corruptor's really good in Scar's block draft, you know? It's really good. And, you know, then there's, of course, Slice and Twain, which is also really good. Kind of junk, kind of junk, kind of junk, kind of junk. Ho-hum, not bad. Assault Strobe is nice. Burn the Impure is nice, but, and this is the great big but on that. You know, I couldn't justify running red just for those two and maybe the Saber Claw Golem. I just couldn't do it. Brass Squire, it's a really good card most of the time. But when as I was putting the deck together, I realized I had no equipment, so Brass Squire was pretty much useless. Oh well. Main deck, I was running 2 Pristine Talismans. Those irked people to no end because I frequently got them both on the board. And, you know, when you're gaining 2 life a turn and you've got solid defense and reasonably solid removal in your deck, your opponents have a hard time getting through you. Palladium Mirror, had 2 Rusted Slashers. Shrine of Burning Rage, which kind of made it a shame that I wasn't running red, you know. Mycosynth Wellspring and Ichor Wellspring. Yeah. You won't see it here because I kicked it into the prize pool and I didn't really want it back because I've already got plenty. I also drafted a Spine of Ishsak. I opened it and it's just like, hello! Spine's an awesome card. But yeah, you know, there was pretty much my artifact. That was pretty much my artifact base. In black, I had a Plague Stinger, a Scourge Servant. I saw him crop up early, and I'm like, he's gonna come back to me. I know he is, and they usually do. You know. Dismember. I opened that and just snapped it right up. I mean, even if it wasn't a good draft card, I would have snapped it right up because they're going for like $2 to $5 on the secondary market. So it's kind of hard to get your paws on them. Grasp at Darkness, good removal card. Geth's Verdict, removal. Spread the Sickness, removal. 2 Forced Worships, pretty much removal. Apostle's Blessing, good defensive card. Lean in Relic Water, he's fun. A Time Strike, he's always cute. And an Indomitable Archangel. It's a fun card. Maybe one of these days I'll make a deck around it. That would be interesting to do. Just for poops and giggles, you know? Out of the prize pool, I ended up snapping up a Mere Propagator, Phyrexian Vat Mother. I'll have to check to see if I have how many Vat Mothers I have, because if that's an extra, I can just throw it right in the trade binder. You know what I'm saying? And a Darksteel Juggernaut. It's the Juggernaut. But you know, the deck did all right. This deck did all right. The first deck, for what didn't do as well as it really should have. And that's the long and short of it. I don't really know what happened. I mean, the 2 games in round 1, it just couldn't draw a proper balance of mana to play with. I don't know why. Second round, I got swept again. I kept drawing lands that I didn't need. And I'm sitting there going, why am I drawing land? Third round, the deck worked pretty much the way it was supposed to, but by that point it was kind of moot, you know? Oh well. But yeah, the second round deck, the deck that I used in the second draft did okay. I can't really complain, you know? It lost 2-1 in round 1, in rounds 2 and 3 it won. I think I swept both teams, I'm not 100% certain. But yeah, it did okay, you know? Can't really complain. That and, you know, did a little bit of trading. I picked up a Geosurge that I needed, because I only had 3, and I'm looking to do something cute and funky with Geosurge. Yeah, my plan is first turn, Mountain, second turn, Mountain, Iron Mirror, third turn, Mountain, Geosurge, pay 4 life, and drop a Molten Steel Dragon, then pay 2 more life, and drop a Phyrexian Metamorph, copying the dragon. Yeah, it's silly, but hey, you know what? That's when you can drop a pair of 4/4 flying fire breathing on turn 3. A lot of people have difficulty dealing with that. Selective memory. I'm kind of sort of tinkering around with the idea of a deck that where I just basically reduce the deck to just Zeniths. I picked the selective memory for that reason. Though to be perfectly honest, I'm probably better running that deck as like black and red with Doomsday's Black Sun Zenith and Red Sun Zenith. Yeah. Just sit there. Yeah, I'll Doomsday. My deck is nothing but Black and Red Sun Zenith. Every turn, Zenith, go, Zenith, go, Zenith, go. Yeah, that's nice for the Zeniths to shuffle back in. Oh, something I'll bring up in just a moment on Zeniths. I also traded for Battlefield Forge. Nice little card. It's a red-white pain land from 10th edition. It's a reprint from, I want to say, Tempest. I think Battlefield Forge was Tempest. Or was it Invasion? I can't recall which. Oh well. So anyway, what happened was, in the first draft, round 2, I'm playing against a fellow named Doug, really good player. Doug knows his stuff, and he ends up playing the Shrine of Limitless Power, the shrine that makes people discard. I'm not wild about Shrine of Limitless Power, and I've said that before several times. But Doug made it work, and he got me with it good a couple of times. And I'm at this point a lot more open-minded towards Shrine of Limitless Power. I'm not sold on it, but I'm a lot more open-minded on it now. You know, at least in draft. I don't know about it constructed. I'd never use it. I still would not use it in constructed, but in draft I'm a lot more open-minded about it now. It's one of those things. You know, you put your prejudices aside when you see something work. It's one of those things. You can sit there, it's like, wow, that thing is ugly as all hell. Yeah, it works. And that's the long and short of it, you know. You can't argue with results. You just can't. Well, you can, but you're going to look like an idiot. As what was the expression? Reasons are excuses, I want results. But, no, what happened is he was charging up, and I was, like, in a rush to try and, play out as much of my hand before he made me discard it. And at one point, I'm looking at, like, I've got, like, a gut shot, and I want to say one of my other red cards. Let me try to remember what I had in hand at the time. Yeah, I had a gut shot, a Volt Charge, and the Red Sun Zenith in hand. And I wanted to, I was hoping I'd be able to get the Volt Charge off and be able to proliferate the counters on the 2 Tumble Magnets I had on the board. The last turn I had before Doug was able to pop the Shrine on me, I played the second Tumble Magnet. He didn't have any creatures yet, though. But I'm sitting there, and I've only got 1 mountain open, and I'm looking at a Volt Charge, a Gut Shot, and a Red Sun Zenith in hands, and I know he's going to make me pitch my hand. And I just look at it, look at that, and I'm like, all I can do. I tap the mountain, and I Red Sun Zenith him for 0 and shoved it back in. It was all I could do, because it's like, I don't want to discard it. I mean, it's a reusable removal spell. It's too valuable to just let your opponent make you discard it, you know? And you do what you gotta. And Doug, I mean, you know, I respect Doug as a player. He knows what he's doing, at least in draft. I don't know how he fares in constructed. I really don't. I haven't really played a lot of constructed games against Doug, but when it comes to draft, he knows his stuff. He knows what he's doing, and he came right out and admitted, you know, admitted that he may not have even seen that play at it, you know, and he thought it was a great play. I do like it when people say stuff like that. And on the other hand, you know what? I just taught him a trick. It's like, yeah, you can evade discard with your zeniths by just casting them for 0 and shuffling them back in. You know? But hey, you know what? Now you guys know that trick too. It's a fun trick, it's a cute trick, it'll irk people. Kid science, fun stuff, etc., etc. Alright. Hopefully I can get this, YouTube will get this processed and I can have it cross-posted on the message boards before midnight. I know I didn't get yesterday's episode cross-posted on the message boards until like 4 or 5 in the morning. What can I say, man? I was out. I went drafting. Oh well. Have a good one, fellas. Be safe, etc., etc.